All right, good morning, everybody. We are here for week one, fantasy football week one. So excited. Just can't wait to get everything started. We had a great Thursday night game between the Detroit Lions and the Kansas City Chiefs, and now full slate of games today. The injury report will come out at 11:30 Eastern time, and that's why I'm on here. Going to take some of your questions leading up to that injury report. But already we've gotten word that Mark Andrews, the star all-pro tight end for the Baltimore Ravens, will not play today. So does any tight end want to play in week one? Travis Kelce already missed the Lions game. Darren Waller, although it looks like he's going to play, he's hobbled. George Kittle is questionable. So a lot of tight end tumult to begin week one of the fantasy football season. Now, here's the schedule today. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button because there's going to be a lot going on today. We have this stream going on right now. I posted the handcuff running back strategy earlier in the day today. And of course, throughout the course of the day, instant injury update videos. As soon as a player goes down, I'm going to have a video up within a minute or so discussing what happened, what the ramifications are, how serious, what it looks like, all this other stuff. So have the notification bell hit as well. And then tonight, we wrap it all up around 7:15 Eastern time, live stream leading into the Giants-Cowboys game. I'm not going to fantasy cast that because I'm a Giants fan. I actually want to really concentrate on that game. But it looks like Darren Waller is going to play, and I have Dalton Kincaid lined up just in case he doesn't go because I own Waller in both of my leagues. Been playing around with my roster this morning. You know, I've had I went with David Montgomery over Cam Akers for the Thursday night game, and it worked out. I mean, that touchdown really kind of saved the day, 13 points and change for Montgomery. And now my other choice today was James Conner or Raheem Mostert at my second running back because I really do like Mostert today. I think it's going to be a very high-scoring game. Or I could take out Lockett from the flex. So what I did was I left Conner in, put Mostert in the flex, and I benched Tyler Lockett for now because I already have Jalen Waddle, Justin Jefferson, and Garrett Wilson. This is a 10-team league. You're probably saying, wow, how did you get all those wideouts? It's a 10-team league. So I'm going to go with that for now. But you know what? By around 1:15, I expect to get or to see Mostert go into the blue tent because that's just the way his career is gone. In terms of the handcuff running back strategy, I already do own Zach Charbonnet and Tank Bigsby. I picked up Tyler Algier in one league. I also added Elijah Mitchell in another league. So I'm covered pretty good for, you know, the big name backs that have some of the better handcuffs. You know, those are four teams right there. You know, McCaffrey, Kenneth Walker, guys who are not always consistently healthy. So that could pay off really well for me if Walker goes down, if McCaffrey goes down. I already have the handcuff on my roster, and that's what that whole strategy is about. So make sure you check out that video from earlier today. Let me get my phone ready for all the alerts that are going to be coming in at 11:30. Adam Thielen is good to go today. That's the word for Carolina. He will play against the Falcons. And you know what? That Falcons-Panthers game is very intriguing to me because I think there's going to be more points scored than we anticipate. I really like Bryce Young a lot, and I think he's going to be very good. Maybe, you know, obviously rookie struggles early on, but I think he's going to be a very good player in the NFL despite his shorter size. I like Hunter. Hayden Hurst and Adam Thielen as like, you know, wide receiver 3, low-end tight end 1 in that offense. And then the Falcons, of course, I've spoken about many times about really how they're just a quarterback away. Hopefully Desmond Ridder can show something today. I have Drake London in one of my leagues, so I'm curious to see how that goes. But yeah, so like I said, a lot of tight end tumult early on today. Going to get to you guys' comments. So Kincaid or Kmet, I'm going to go that's a tough one. I'm going to go Kincaid because, you know, Laporta was good for Detroit in his first game. The Jets defense is tough, and they're going to come out, you know, hair on fire. This is as big a game as we've seen for the Jets in maybe over a decade. So there's a lot at stake here. So that's the way I would lead. Christian Kirk or Dotson. I would go Kirk, Gibson, or Antonio Gibson. I would go Kirk because I like him better than Dotson with Terry McLaurin in there. I think the Commanders will be up big in that game, so I don't see Gibson getting as many reception opportunities. James Conner, Raheem Mostert. Pouring down rain will be ground attack. Oh, so it's going to be pouring for which one? And you know what? I didn't do the weather video yet, so that's good to know. All right. So is it going to rain? Is it going to rain for the Commanders game, or is it going to rain for the Chargers game? I have Zach Charbonnet in both leagues. I have Kenneth Walker. Made sure. Yeah, you have to have Charbonnet because, again, this guy, he's a 3-down back if he ever gets in there. Devin Arcane will be, or Shane, however you say it, he's going to be inactive. So, again, getting back to Raheem Mostert, he's going to have a lot of work today. It's just physically, can he hold up? I mean, I'm taking a huge risk right out of the gate. And I got off to a good start Thursday with David Montgomery in one league and Amon-Ra St. Brown in the other. Cardinals Commanders going to be a bad weather game. So that's interesting. Having not done the weather video yet, and I usually do that up until, in the last hour, we might need to temper expectations then also for Terry McLaurin. Dobbins or Mike Evans for a flex. I would go Dobbins. I think the Ravens are going to be up big, and Dobbins is going to get a lot of work. Drop Charbonnet for Puka. Should I go get yeah, I would do that. I don't think Puka Nacua is going to be anything worth holding on to. I'd rather have Charbonnet because here's the thing. Again, if Walker gets hurt, and he's always been hurt throughout his career, even in college, you have a 3-down back already on your team. And that could be a league winner. He's really that good. I saw every game he played in at UCLA, and he really is that good. He can catch the ball with the best of them. He's a real tough, squatty runner. I really like him a lot. So I would definitely pick up Charbonnet. Start James Conner. You know what, Deathlord? I'm starting both. I benched Tyler Lockett. I have Mostert in the flex. There's going to be a lot of points in that Miami Chargers game. And I already gave you my picks the other day. I do like Miami with the points, getting 3. So if you missed that stream, it was from yesterday's stream. So make sure you check that out to get my picks. 1-0 going into today. So George Kittle's expected to play with his groin injury, but obviously you got to check back. You never know there. Romeo Doubs is going to be on a pitch count, snap count, whatever you want to call it. No Christian Watson. Could be a very tough first outing for Jordan Love. So Luke Musgrave, the rookie tight end, is almost like the last man standing, or Jaden Reed. I think AJ Dillon's going to get a lot of run, literally. And I think Aaron Jones, easily will have 5 catches in this game. Tyler Lockett or Terry McLaurin. Based on the weather now, I would go Lockett. Sharp over to Tajay for sure as your handcuff. Jerry Jeudy not expected to play today. That's not a surprise. He'll be back next week, which is good because originally when he went down, he was carted off. I thought he'd be out for a month, but it looks like he'll be okay next week. Marquise Brown, Zach Ertz are both going to play. So Zach Ertz, there's another tight end. Josh Dobbs is just so bad. Ertz is really going to sink along with Marquise Brown due to the quarterback situation. They can't get Kyler Murray back soon enough. And really that will be an opportunity for the Cardinals to showcase Murray and try to trade him maybe to Atlanta during the offseason because, they're going to get Caleb Williams. There's no doubt about it. All right, let's see. So Jonathan Taylor is expected to be back for week 5. He no longer has any injury restrictions. So when his pup stint is over, he should return to the team. No issues there. Starting Isaiah Likely in one league, Gerald Everett in the other, and Tyler Higbee in the other. That's fine. I like Higbee more than those two guys. There's a lot of targets in Los Angeles with the Chargers, so Everett, kind of becomes a lost, forgotten man. Listen, Isaiah Likely is one of those new age tight ends, really, really fast, really athletic. But I think that game's going to get out of hand quickly, and they're not going to have to throw it as much. Devontae Parker not expected to play. I'm shocked he's still with the Patriots that they even brought him back. And that's all we have right now. But, of course, like I said, we're just about 20 minutes away for the injury report to come out. We have a $1.99 super chat from Polumsky. Thank you, Polumsky. Deontay Johnson or Jahan Dotson. I'm going to go Deontay Johnson. I think the Steelers are going to upset the 49ers today. I did that. I made that pick. 49ers giving 2 to Pittsburgh. Home underdogs under Mike Tomlin have been very profitable, so I'm going with the Steelers today. Yes, I'm going to call the upset. I think Deontay Johnson, who's very, very heavily targeted 3 years running. I know the touchdowns. He got the bagel in the touchdown column last year, but that was an anomaly. Kenny Pickett has shown signs of growth this summer. I like him. Dotson now has to deal with Terry McLaurin coming back, Polumsky, and the heavy rain. There's a lot of heavy rain in the Northeast. It's very ugly here in New York. Not raining yet, but I know the Jersey, Philadelphia region, Washington, D.C. have gotten pummeled with rain early today. So that would be the way I would go there, Polumsky. And thank you for that generous super chat. I really appreciate that. Need wide receiver 2 and a strong flex. Dotson, Evans, and Pearson, London. I'm starting London. I think there's going to be a lot of points in this game. I really do. I think Drake London, you put Drake London on any other team, other than this run-heavy Falcons, offense, that I think he's an easy low-end wide receiver 1. That's how talented he is. So I'm definitely starting London. I wouldn't go Dotson. I would go Evans, Pearson, London. That's how I would go. I'm really shying away from the Commanders today due to that weather. My take on Okonkwo is he an athletic marvel for a tight end, and what he did at the end of last season was no fluke. But with Treylon Burks there, they brought in DeAndre Hopkins. He's clearly third in the pecking order and a very moderate passing offense. So the opportunities just may not be there. I'd be more interested in him if something were to happen to Hopkins and Burks. All right. So he's a borderline guy for me. I mean, if you don't have Andrews today, then I certainly would give him a shot. I have Lamar Jackson. My opponent is Josh Allen. Jackson has the much easier matchup. Allen's going to have to be slinging it the whole game, though. And those two cornerbacks for the Jets are unbelievable. I mean, DJ Reed, Sauce Gardner's the number 1 corner already in the NFL. So it's going to be a tough day, I think, for Josh Allen. That's why I think Dalton Kincaid is going to have a good game. I think they're going to be throwing it underneath a lot. Whoops, excuse me. I almost knocked my light over. Stephon Diggs struggled big time against Sauce Gardner in both games last year. So if you're a Stephon Diggs owner, you're already concerned about where his head is at as he's, literally butting heads with the team and Josh Allen. And now he's going to have to deal with the frustration of going against Sauce Gardner, who got the better of him in both meetings between the two last year. Dameon Pierce is a tough day. Do you have an offensive lineman? Yes. Yeah, for sure. I would try to do better, Charles, than Dameon Pierce. And listen, Devin Singletary, who's proven himself to be a decent player in this league. He's averaged over 4.5 yards per carry for his career. He can catch the ball. I think it could be like a 60-40 split, which does hurt Pierce. I like Pierce as a player. The system, the setup, not the best for him right now. Thoughts on James Conner? I have James Conner in one league. So, I went running back value in both of my leagues, and I ended up with Conner in one. I only wanted him in the one league because I like to spread it out. I don't like to own the same players on multiple teams in case of injury. And let's face it, James Conner has had a lot of injuries in his career, but he's expected to get a very heavy workload in this one. Lots of rain. Let me, while I'm doing this now, let me see. Let me pull up the schedule for the weather. But I do, listen, James Conner had his biggest games without Kyler Murray the last couple of seasons. So that's something that we got to consider as well. So I am starting him if that's what, Death Lord, if that's what you're wondering, I am starting him for sure. And we'll see what happens. Starting to get cold feet on Ravens survivor. No Andrews, no Humphrey. No, don't get cold feet on that. I still stick with the Ravens. I'd rather have Dameon Pierce than Connor. Yeah, I mean, I guess either one. I think it's close between the two of them. Taylor Lewan announced his retirement from the NFL. That just came out just now. So Taylor Lewan, very good player, has announced his retirement from the NFL. All right. I'm looking at the weather now. 55% chance of rain for the Texans and the Ravens. Showers and thunderstorms are possible. So you get a lot of this early on too. The thunderstorms. We saw in college football yesterday, the Notre Dame game got delayed. The Miami-Texas Tech game got delayed because of the weather. A lot of thunderstorms, the first couple of weeks. Another $1.99 super chat from Polumsky. Thank you. I appreciate that. Very generous of you. Start 3. Chubb, Ken Walker, Lockett, and Pierce. I'm starting Lockett. Chubb definitely, and I have to go Walker as well. If he's healthy, he's productive. I know it seems like I hate on the guy all the time, but he's really productive, Polumsky. And thank you again for that very generous super chat. It really helps out the channel. Pierce is flex struggling with Mike Evans or London. Oh, Mike Evans or London. I'm going London. Not even blinking an eye on that one. I don't think that's a tough call. Super flex, 0.5 reception league has offered Sam Howell, Andrews, who's already hurt, and Cooks. James Cook for Daniel Jones, Higbee, and London. My other QB is Tua. Listen, you could – I'm fine with alternating Jones and Tua based on the matchup. Andrews is clearly better than Higbee, but I like Drake London a lot. I mean, if you have Tua and Howell, it's not the worst trade. That's tough. I would do it because of Andrews. He's the best player in the deal. And I think James Cook, will be really good long term. So I would do that deal, but it's very close. It's very fair. When hero running back strategy this season, ended up with James Conner and Kenneth Walker as my top two backs and went wide receiver heavy. Yeah, I went all receivers early. One league, I have Connor, Akers, now Mostert, who I had picked up. He was drafted and dropped before the news of Jeff Wilson. And then and Montgomery. So that's who I ended up with on one league. The other league, I ended up with Aaron Jones and Rashad White and Alvin Kamara and Antonio Gibson. So I think I did just fine, and I have loaded wide receivers, and I have Josh Allen in one league and Jalen Hurts in the other. Or should I just bench Pierce and play? You know what? That's not a bad idea either. Evans and London. You definitely got to play London though. But Pierce, I mean, it's a tough matchup. This Ravens defensive line is solid. Ramondre or Aaron Jones. I think Ramondre is not 100%. He's been dealing with a stomach bug, so I don't know what's going to happen there. I'm leaning slightly to Aaron Jones. He's going to get a lot of work today because they have literally nobody to throw the ball to. They might flex him out into the slot. So I would lean Aaron Jones. Kincaid or Everett? Kincaid, 100%. Absolutely 100%. All right, just checking for more. All right, so getting back to the weather. So we talked about the Ravens game. That looks to be nasty. The Saints. All right, Steelers, 25% precipitation. So yes, Cardinals, Commanders, 56% chance of rain, showers and thunderstorms, light winds. So, I mean, it doesn't look awful, but with Sam Howell at quarterback, who doesn't have the strongest arm, he's not going to get it down the field much. That's going to hurt Jahan Dotson more than Terry McLaurin. All right, and 42% chance of rain, Eagles, Patriots. I'm not so worried about that one. All right, so tonight for the Giants game, this looks to be the worst one. Oh, shit. All right, 61% chance of rain. Heavy rain will create poor field conditions. A delay or postponement is possible if lighting is consistent. Light winds. All right, I mean, I have Darren Waller, so if they're going to throw the short game, that's going to help him. Slick field, though, with his hamstring. I'm a little worried about that. I think Hodgins is risky. I think CeeDee Lamb now, I mean, they're going to, unless they put him in the slot exclusively, I would bench Brandon Cooks. CeeDee Lamb might have to be downgraded slightly. Barkley elevated and Pollard elevated as well. So, and I wouldn't even bother with Jake Ferguson just yet anyway. So, yeah, there's definitely some ill weather for sure. All right, we have a $2 super chat from Mark Engelson. Thank you, Mark. Watson out. So Dotson or Michael Thomas in the flex. Thomas. I have Thomas in the flex. So if that makes you feel any better. And thank you for that super chat, Mark. I really appreciate that. You've been very supportive to the channel. I'm going Michael Thomas in the flex. What happened? Mark Andrews officially inactive. All right, so that is official. He is inactive. Mark Andrews, that's what we expected. No doubt about it. That's a big loss. I ended up with both Hockenson and Tyler Higbee. Higbee was on the waiver wire. The problem with Higbee is he doesn't score. And he, unless you throw it right to him, he just doesn't do much of anything. He doesn't have any after the catch ability. He's just a stationary guy. Once he has the ball in his hands, he's just very unimpressive. That's why. J.K. Dobbins today. I like J.K. Dobbins a lot. And he could catch the ball. When he was in college, he was a fairly good receiver. That was not part of the game plan. I'd like to see with Todd Monken if that does change. They want Lamar Jackson to run less. We know that mobile quarterbacks don't support PPR running backs. That's the issue. They like to keep it and run it instead of dumping it off. Curious to see if that changes, but the Ravens should be up big in the second half, and they're going to run Dobbins a lot. And he is as explosive a runner as you can get. He really is that good, true home run hitter. So that's not the issue. It's always health. Brandon Cooks or Javonte. I would go Javonte Williams because after that weather report that I just read to you, I'm not sure about even starting Cooks. Mostert or Connor, Polumsky. That's the issue I had this morning. I'm going to start both. If I had to choose, I would go Mostert because he's got the better quarterback. He's the clear guy in a game that has an over-under of over 50. So that's how I would do it. I would go Mostert. But both guys, are as injury prone as it gets. Would you rather have Dobbins or Mostert? Full PPR, I'm going Dobbins, only because of the injury risk. And listen, I'm going to be on the edge of my seat watching Mostert today. And you know what sucks about fantasy football? And I just there's got to be a way to do this, is that it skews a lot when you lose a player early in the game to injury. If you lose a player in the first quarter, one of your prime players to injury in the first quarter, probably 70% chance you're losing that matchup. All right. And it shouldn't come down to that. So I wish there was a way where you could set up a league where add a feature where you could drop your lowest score each week. So if it's that guy who got hurt early in the first half, it doesn't hurt you as much. So I wish there was a way to do that. I haven't seen any league that has that implemented, but that's how I would love to do it. Because again, like if Mostert gets hurt, you could say, oh, them's the breaks. You know, you would benefit from that if it was on the other team, and true. But I want to win or lose based on the strength of my entire lineup that plays the whole game. Like that's what you're hoping for. So if you could drop your lowest score each week, I think that would be a good addition. If Jeff Wilson was healthy right now, would Mostert be downgraded more than a must start? Oh, for sure. It would be like 64 to Wilson in terms of work. I feel like Adoree Jackson will shadow. He's going to shadow CeeDee Lamb. That's why they made the move. They wanted Adoree Jackson shadowing CeeDee Lamb, and Adoree Jackson had a really good year last year. So I think that's a good matchup for the Giants. And I'm going against CeeDee Lamb in one of my leagues today. So I'm hoping that works out. Wow, 96 views already on that video I put up an hour ago about the handcuff strategy. So again, thanks for the support, guys. So we're just a few minutes away from the injury report, although Mark Andrews, we already know, is officially out. And then, the game's starting at 1 o'clock. I know that getting back to some of the changes in leagues, I know Yahoo did add that feature. They're charging you $25 to add the feature where you could have a 7th playoff team, which I think is great. And then you have that option to add where you play the whole league and the 6 highest scoring teams get the W, the 6 lowest get the loss, in addition to your one-on-one matchup. So you have two results each week, which I think is cool, but not too happy that they want to charge you $25 per league for that. You know, that's kind of a little bit of a shakedown if you ask me. Thoughts on DJ Moore? I'm going against him in one of my leagues, but he'll be covered by Jai. Yeah, that's a tough matchup. That is absolutely a tough matchup. Darnell Mooney might have a better game than we think. Jair Alexander is the same guy who gave up only 1 catch to Justin Jefferson down the stretch last season, was, as dominant a performance of any cornerback I saw last year. So I think it could be rough going for DJ Moore, but I think you got to start him unless you have a really good alternative. What's going on, Rachaad White? Oh, I rise above anything. Good morning. Rachaad White or Sanders? I'm going to go Rachaad White. I think there's going to be a lot of dump-off passes here, and I know that the Panthers have said that they want to spell Miles Sanders during the course of the game, so that means Chuba Hubbard's going to get a decent amount of work. And to be fair, he was okay down the stretch last season as well. Pierce or Khalil Herbert? I'm going to go Khalil Herbert. I think the Bears are going to be winning. He's going to get a lot of carries. Likely or Schultz? And you're welcome, Plums. Again, thank you for those super chats. Likely or Schultz? I'm going to go Schultz because there's lack of competition there. A lot of dump off. CJ Stroud is going to be running for his life. So he's going to be throwing it short to Schultz a lot. And listen, Schultz has been good, when he's on the field. And I know him and Dak Prescott had a decent rapport between the two of them, especially around the red zone. So I think that, that speaks highly to Schultz in his place in this offense. Josh Allen, I have Josh Allen. My opponent has Joe Burrow. Should I win that matchup? Yeah. Well, you know what? That's hard to say. Josh Allen has struggled against the Jets. That's the problem. And he's got to deal with 2 of the top cornerbacks in the NFL on the same team, and Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed. That's why I think Dalton Kincaid's going to have a good game. The Browns, Browns have a solid defense. I think it's going to be a lot. I think it could be a shootout. Deshaun Watson can just get his head out of his ass. I think we could see a nice high-scoring game there. I'm going to be concentrating on that game early on. I have to say, if I were to bet, I would say Burrow's going to have better numbers today. QB or Rodgers and Carr. I'm leaning Carr because of this matchup. Yeah, I would do that as well. And it would be typical Jets for Aaron Rodgers to get hurt in the opener. I mean, this is probably the most snake bit organization in all of football. So if Aaron Rodgers and that offensive line is scary bad. That Jets offensive line, outside of Elijah Vera Tucker and Dwayne Brown, who's already hurt and hobbled and aging, I think it's a very scary offensive line. And Aaron Rodgers, is he going to be able to stay upright at almost 40 years old throughout the course of the season? I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about that. So that's what we're going to have to watch and see. All right, just waiting again for the injury report, which should be coming out momentarily. Happy Football Sunday, Justin. Dobbins, hey, I think you're going to get it. I think Dobbins is going to be one of those guys that we talk about tonight where we're like, wow, he really balled out. And again, talent has never been in question. Attitude and injuries, those are the problems for J.K. Dobbins. Adams, Higgins, and Ridley, what do you think of those receivers? Very good. I'm not a big Adams fan, but I mean, he has proven himself to be QB proof so far, but he is 30, and that's the scary age for receivers. Higgins is a supporting player to Jamar Chase. He's kind of topped out as like that 75 catch guy. You always seem to want more out of Higgins. Hasn't delivered yet to this point, but low end wide receiver too. That's what he's delivered. But you feel like he's possible. He's got the ability to possibly supply more. And I love Ridley. Absolutely love that. So one guy, him and Chris Olave, I'll put them both in the same class. The two guys that I wish I had more than any other that I don't own this season. So it's interesting, that poll I put up, who's going to win the Super Bowl this season? The Eagles have a slight lead over the Bengals, but the Chiefs not getting a lot of love. So that's interesting. And, other couple of people, 38% actually have picked other. So I'm assuming that's probably, they're Jet fans in here right now, Dallas Cowboy fans in here. The Chargers. Chargers are not winning a Super Bowl with that coach. I mean, that is just not happening. If you want a real dark horse team, maybe Jacksonville. If you want to take some really advanced odds, the Baltimore Ravens. If Lamar Jackson can stay healthy, guys offering me Cooper Kupp for Antonio Gibson and Jamal Williams. I turned him down. Did I fumble bad? Yeah, you fumbled that one. I would have done that deal. I would have absolutely done that deal. I would have waited a month, even though I don't like Cooper Kupp. I mean, you're only giving up Gibson, who's a part-time guy, and Jamal Williams, who when Kamara comes back is going to, be at worst, at best, rather a 50-50 split. So I think you should have done that. I would re-offer that today before the game start to see what happens and try to get Cooper Kupp, because then you'd have Jefferson, Diggs, and Kupp. I mean, if a month, you got to wait. It's not horrible. Boy, you're buying really low on that deal, and I would definitely do that. Starting Chargers D, Bosa, I'm not going to eat without Armstead. Yeah, be careful with that one. I think the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins are going to be better than you think. And listen, Tua Tagovailoa was on an MVP pace last season before the injuries hit. Like he was. There's no doubt about it. So Tua Tagovailoa, when he's healthy and he's got those two crazy good wideouts, he's got two wide receiver ones on the same team. Hey Aaron, how are you? Aaron Hernandez. Every time I see that, I just can't help it, man. That's you must get a lot of jokes. I don't know if you guys saw that Aaron Hernandez Netflix series, documentary, whatever that was like a 4-part episode, man. You got to watch that. That guy was just fucked up in the head, man. He really was. Should I bench Ramondre Stevenson for someone like Mostert? No, not. I wouldn't do that because of the injury risk. All right. The Brown safety, Juwan Thornhill is not playing. We don't care about that. Cleveland live as a dog versus Cincinnati. Yes, they are. Listen, home underdogs are very profitable bets. They always are. I took the Steelers getting the points at home. I did have the guts to go New England, although that's not a horrible bet either. Cut out, but did you say I should do that deal? Yes, do that deal for Cooper Kupp. Absolutely, 100%. I would definitely do that. Kendry Miller is not playing. That's official. We knew that. Yeah, so definitely do that deal. Offer that back up, because if you could just wait a month for Cooper Kupp to come back for two, part-time guys, which Jamal Williams and Antonio Gibson are, then that's a win. And you already have Diggs and Jefferson, and having those three on the same team, I mean, that's almost unfair. So I would definitely do that. All right, so Kendry Miller. And even, Kendry Miller, when he comes back too, him and Alvin Kamara, it's going to be like a 3-headed monster there. I'm sorry it cut out. Sometimes this room that I'm in, it cuts out a little bit. I'm going to be in another room for tonight's stream. I got 2 kids, so I didn't screaming, running around, playing, and I didn't want to distract anybody with that going on in the background. I'll be on in a different room later. One problem is flex spot would suffer because I would only have Jeff Wilson or Raheem Mostert. Yeah, I mean that's true, but Gibson and Williams are not the best flex options anyway. All right, the Saints, Marcus Davenport. All right, so that's the Vikings. Jaren Hall, emergency third QB. All right, so nothing really going on there. All right, so it's really, George Kittle, that's the big one that we're waiting on. Darren Waller tonight, although like I said, I'm here in New York. Word is that Waller is going to play. So it looks like we've dodged a bullet. But again, it's like a reminder, like this guy just can't ever stay healthy. Like Darren Waller, it's just like unbelievable. Washington inactives. Chase Young is not playing, so that hurts their defense. So Chase Young, that's a big loss. And Chase Young, really, really talented player, but just another one that just can't stay on the field. All right, Hollywood Brown and Zach Ertz are both active, so that's good. Both Hollywood Brown and Ertz are active. I wouldn't play either one though. I mean, Brown maybe as a flex. And I love Zach Ertz, but Josh Dobbs, I mean, come on. How this guy is still in the league. I just don't even understand it. 14 team, half PPR more. Dotson, Elijah Moore, Renfro. All right, Zach Moss inactive for the Colts. So no Zach Moss. Need one flex and one tight end. Schultz, I would go for tight end. And your flex, I think I would try out Elijah Moore. Not Breece Hall. He's going to be on a snap count. I think I would try Elijah Moore or DJ Moore, either one. I'm not going to go Dotson in that heavy rain with McLaurin back. Breece Hall, I don't trust him. All right, Cordero Patterson is out for week 1. So Cordero Patterson is not playing for the Falcons. So Tyler Algier, who I picked up in the handcuff strategy, is one body away from being the bell cow back. 10 team. And that's the other thing, guys. I think lesson we learned with Jahmyr Gibbs on Thursday is that Bijan Robinson is not automatically going to get lion's share carries. 10 team have PPR, need a flex. Madison. I would go Madison. I think Madison's good for today. Who's going to have a better week, CMC or Eckler? I like Eckler. A lot of points in that game. And I like Eckler for the whole season more than McCaffrey. And already I read today that Elijah Mitchell might get up to half the carries today. And I've said this all summer. Christian McCaffrey owners, get ready because he may not get those bell cow carries. They want to preserve his body. An aging back at 27 who's had a lot of injuries, they want to preserve his body for the course of the season. 12-man league, my team, if I do that Cooper Kupp trade, would be Josh Allen, Tony Pollard. Yeah, I mean, listen, it's fine. You're going to find guys during the course of the season that you can put into flex. Thinking about a trade offer, Moore and James Cook for Breece Hall, thinking long-term. Yeah, I could. I mean, Breece Hall is going to be fine. But Dalvin Cook is there, and Dalvin Cook's going to get a lot of work today. So, I think that long-term, though, Breece Hall is going to be great. And he is a tremendous player, Breece Hall. He really is. He is just a tremendous player. He was so good last year. I was watching Miami last year. I wasn't impressed with Miami and Chargers, a lot of key injured players. Listen, right. I mean, that could happen. I took Miami with the points +3. I think they could pull the outright upset. I think my picks today were Pittsburgh and Miami's underdogs. I took Seattle giving the points. I don't remember the other one offhand. I took the Baltimore Ravens in the survivor pool. Hey, Ed, how are you? What was the other game that I picked? I don't even remember now. Was it it wasn't the Eagles. Not the Falcons. I think Carolina is going to cover, by the way. I was thinking about that. All right. I already won on the under with the Lions. I took an over-under somewhere, didn't I? Let me see. I can't remember now off the top of my head. Bengals, Browns, Jags, Colts, Bucks. Oh, I took the Bucks with the points. I think it's 5.5. I took the Bucks with the points. That's what I did against the Vikings, who I think are overrated, and they showed that last year. All right. So Mark Andrews is out. George Kittle is in. All right. So George Kittle is in. He's playing. No issue with George Kittle. He's playing today, so that's good. I don't think Miami runs the ball as much as everyone thinks. If it just comes out passing. Yeah, this is a passing offense, but there's going to be points all over the place in this game. This is the one to watch. I mean, Miami Chargers. I also like that Bengals-Browns game. That's going to be good as well. I don't know if you guys got the YouTube Sunday ticket. I'm not thrilled with the setup, but I have DirecTV. It was perfect on DirecTV, but those are two games I'm really going to look at. I need Seattle, Washington, Philly, Jackson, Cleveland. My parlay. Oh, you did a parlay. I hate those parlays, man. They're such a money pit. Those things, I don't even bother. But it's a sucker bet, Mark, if you ask me. Half PPR, Godwin or Dotson? I'm going Godwin. How long do you own a Hunt? Wait until the end of this week. See if anybody gets hurt today, Fran, and then go from there. And then you can just cut them loose. Colorado, Notre Dame, and Oregon covered. Yes. Yeah, they did. How about Colorado, guys? So Shedeur Sanders, Deion's son at quarterback, looks like he's going to be a first-round pick. I mean, he looks great. That team looks great. Say what you want about Deion, who's a pompous ass. He gets it done no matter what. If he's playing, coaching, you name it, the guy's just a winner. And that team looks really good. Notre Dame with Sam Hartman, that was a perfect guy to pick up for them. Oregon, I mean, that was a high-scoring game. It was crazy. It was just a crazy day. Alabama went down. This is not a good Alabama team, considering, compared to their past standards. I'm not impressed with them at all. Texas looked good, though. Send me a link to watch Dolphins Chargers on TV for me. Yeah, I don't know how that works, Death Lord. No guts, no glory. Yeah, that's right, Mark. No guts, no glory. Baltimore playing now. So, it'll be a fun day, guys. Again, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. There's going to be a lot of videos. Or hopefully it's a quiet day and I don't have to do a lot of injury videos. But, it's almost like Survivor, right, guys? You just got to hope your roster gets through it. Hopefully we don't have any big names going down. I'm scared. Every week that my top guys are going to go down. So, it's not in our hands, right? Play Washington, Eagles, or Cowboys D. I would have to go with the Eagles. Washington doesn't have what's his name, Chase Young, and the Giants' offense is solid. I wouldn't go with Dallas. Should I drop? Yeah, I would do that. I mean, I have Bigsby waiting in the wings. My handcuffs that I own right now are Bigsby, Charbonnet. I picked up Tyler Algier in one league, and I picked up Elijah Mitchell. So I have 4 top handcuff backs. I'll just drop them as the day goes on if I don't need them and just pick somebody else up 4 o'clock like Joshua Kelly or somebody like that. Anyway, so all right, guys, I'm going to sign off now. Got some stuff to do before the game. My high school team won 31-0 yesterday, so it was a great start. And let me tell you guys, I'm just going to brag for a second. So I have a player on my team who's a kicker, and he hit a 52-yard field goal yesterday with room to spare. All right, he's going to be somebody I think that's going to end up in an NFL training camp. His name is Caden Lesowitz. He's just a nice kid. He plays safety, plays running back. He hit a 52-yard field goal. He's got a full ride to Cornell, and smart kid too, obviously. And I think that he's gonna be doing some things, possibly in an NFL training camp at some point. A high school kid hitting a 52-yard field goal. Just wanted to brag. Yes, we won 31-0. So definitely was a good start to my weekend. So thanks for the kind words, guys. So I will be back throughout the course of the day. Live stream tonight. Good luck. Let's do it. Let's get off to a good start. 1-0. Here we come. I will talk to you all soon.